Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, the fact that Russia is willing and able to bring troops from far away, bring it to Ukraine, could indicate that Russia is either depleted of its forces or, and I think this one actually fits the narrative, I think Russia doesn't want to use certain kind of forces, military personnel in Ukraine, because I don't think Russia has at its disposal 200,000 people only. But I don't think it wants to use the rest, up to what? They have almost 1 million, I think, active troops. So in this case, I think they tried to conduct this operation with a minimum effort, even though that contradicts what Putin said, that he wants to finish this as soon as possible. This is not an indication that he will, if he just uses, as this article states, Russia announces sending new Ossetian Volunteer Battalion to Ukraine. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda, September 19th, 2022. So they announced that Ossetian Volunteer Battalion comes to Ukraine. The pro-Russian government of Republic of North Ossetia, Alania, announced that by late September, a newly shaped so-called volunteer detachment is to be sent to war against Ukraine. Source: Sergei Manialilo, head of North Ossetia, Alania, on Telegram. Details: according to him, the battalion is now practicing at the training ground. Maniailo said that he would personally organize combat coordination and lead them to the area of combat mission. The first battalion sent to Ukraine was called Alania. It reached the combat zone 7 months ago. The Ossetia battalion was created 3 months ago. The newly created detachment does not yet have a name. Maniailo claims that the, and I'm quoting, Ossetian volunteer battalions, and quote, are equipped with separate artillery divisions and tank companies. Background: in July, Oleksiy Danilov, the Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine, said that Russia has started a covert mobilization forming so-called volunteer battalions. After the successful counteroffensive, that's dead as of now, of the armed forces of Ukraine and the defeat of Russian troops in Kharkiv Oblast, the Russian authorities have intensified covert mobilization and recruitment for the war in Ukraine. Well, what did you expect? To wait? And when they talk about this counteroffensive, as I mentioned many times before, it's like in a fighting game or fighting situation where there's two boxers, and one, let's say, is round number 1, and by round number 7, one boxer delivered, let's say, 1,000 punches, and the other one did not deliver anything. So the other one was just on the ropes all the time, and this one was punching the guy, and then in round number 8, that guy who got pounded 7 rounds is punching 1 time. Not knocking anything out, just hits the target, like the other one hit the target for 7 rounds, right? So, or whatever rounds. So everybody is now, wow, look at that, he's winning. This is how this thing is right now portrayed to us, and you were supposed to say, yeah man, that counteroffensive. It was 1 punch. Successful? Yes, it was successful. Did the Russian retreat? Yeah, they say regroup and blah blah blah. Yeah, okay, I don't buy that whatsoever. You could have stopped them over there if you could, but you couldn't. So you retreated and you formed a new line of defense on a different, territory, the different military strategic points. That's what they did. And then these guys in the West, oh my God, did you see that? The Russians are losing. What are you talking about? This is round number 8, and these guys had 1 punch that hit the guy in the head. And that's it, successful punch, but nothing else. The guy did not was not knocked down, was not knocked out, did not lose his balance or anything. Yeah, it was a punch, but Ukraine got 1,000 of this kind before this, and that was nothing considered. You know what I mean? Yes, I know that you know what I mean. So all these things, oh my God, they are done, they are done. But this is what I think about the Russian army. Now, there's two alternatives that I see. One, the Russians did not really, or maybe they tried at the beginning to use thinking that they're going to be destroying the Ukrainian army in the first 2, 3, 4, 5 days. And they said, we're going to do it with a shock. They did that shock. It did not reach the expected results, and then it stopped at one point, and then it was just slow advancement. Now don't we should be certain that the Ukrainians put on the defense all they had. They didn't, obviously they kept things in south, in Odessa, they kept in north so they don't come from Belarus, and they're still there. But everything else was put on the east front because they didn't want the Russians to break the front and advance how much and whenever they wanted. So everything they had over there, and with everything they had over there, they were retreating, pushed back, little. The fact is, these guys pushed them back almost to the level, to the positions where they wanted to. So that's the 7th round, 1,000 punches. Okay, so now, where did you expect this guy, who was just blocking and taking it, to get a second wind or something with one punch? So I think Ukraine is also depleted, and this was the last attempt to do something for various reasons. Obviously, I don't think they expect to go and go around the whole 1,300 kilometer front, active front, in order to encircle them from behind. I don't think they have. I'm 99% certain that the Ukrainians, as the Russians, do not have the manpower to accomplish something like that. So I think that's where they're going to stop. What's going to happen? Ukrainians do not have anything else to bring on the front. I think all they had, they brought it at the beginning. What they're going to bring, not manpower. It's going to be ammunition, it's going to be weapons from West. That's all they're going to have. And obviously the guys who control them, and they tell them what to do. But other than that, you need tanks, you need people, manpower to advance. You can't only with rockets and then you move forward and get rockets and move forward. You're not that good. You don't have this power yet, firepower, to overwhelm the other side. The other side is just gonna retreat because you destroy everything that you hit. The Russians are not idiots either. So on the other hand, Russia, which should have much more personnel available, because it was 144 million people versus 40, which is guys 10 million just fled, right, retreated, however you want to call them, in other countries. So they should have a smaller army. Now the Ukrainians put everything. I don't think the Russians put everything. So Russia always can suck more people and bring them on. Now the Russian army, I think, is about 1 million, the active one. I don't know how many field soldiers are over there, but I'm assuming could be at least 500, 600, 700,000. And they didn't use those guys here. I don't think so. Besides, they have to make sure they have other places under control in their big little country. They have big little country. So anyway, this is they get volunteers. They get, I think, the minimum to create social unrest in the country. So that's why they get Ossetians, they get this, and they do it, and just let's keep, and we're gonna slowly see who's gonna be calling for peace. But I don't think Russia would be. I don't think Russia is using everything it got. And that's the second option. If they use everything they got and this is the result, then they're in bad shape. They are in bad shape. That means they're equal with the Ukrainians. So that's not good, because I don't see this going anywhere from here. For a while at least, including the weather comes, and weather is not good weather. So thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.